dry hopping before fermentation versus dry hopping after fermentation. Now, that is an experiment that I have been looking forward to. Let's kick it. I'm Dr. Hans, this is Dr. Hans Brewery, my channel about beer and brewing. I've been into the habit with this channel to question everything, and haven't we always been told to dry hop after fermentation, at least at the end of fermentation. I don't recommend after fermentation. I've more been recommended at the end of fermentation, and I will get back to that in the later part of this video. I can talk about why I don't recommend dry hopping after fermentation. Right? The reason why I have been not really dry hopping before fermentation is because I was thinking that I would drive more flavors off during that fermentation. Of course, we have some brewers that have been dry hopping at several different times during fermentation, but today we're doing just a test where I dry hopped this beer before fermentation. At the same time I added the yeast, and this beer was dry hopped after fermentation in the keg. These were fermented both under pressure at the same temperature. I fermented them with today's sponsor, Angel Yeast, A01, American age yeast. I have tried this yeast before and it's really solid. I will link down below to Angel Yeast Brewing product page. You can check out all of the brewing products. And I also used their Brew Nutri yeast nutrient in this beer. Treat your yeast. This is a black IPA. If you want to download the recipe for this beer, I already released a grain to glass video, so you can go and check that out. See if this is something you might brew, but spoiler alert, this is really good beer, and I spilled some there. Let's call that the Angel share. So you can go and download the recipe and try to brew it, and if you do, let me know how it turns out. And also, from where are you watching? It's really interesting to hear. All over the world. Nice. This is an experiment that I've been really wanting to give a try, and I have tried these beers for patrons and channel members, and I will do a separate video for you after this. And we have just uploaded 2 recipes to the big Dr. Hans recipe book. So see you after all this. Tiggy and I have some news to share with you. You can't see it, but maybe this is the which I call odd one out, so I mark that with the tape below, so I will at least know. But the doctor, can you please put signs? Yes, thank you very much. So this is before fermentation. At the same time I added the yeast, at the same time I added oxygen, right? Because I add oxygen with a don't have it here now, but I add oxygen with an oxygen stone, pure oxygen, right, to my brews. Number-wise, because that could be also interesting, right? This is a 6.4% beer, both of them, so they both fermented the same, from 1062 down to 1013, so no difference there, because hops can affect fermentation. We can get into that also hopefully later in the video, where I can direct you to know the video. I'm thinking that this should be more flavorful than this one. This one I'm going into this experiment, that the one that has been dry hopped after fermentation will have more flavors left in it, and that the one that has been dry hopped before fermentation has less flavors in it. I'm thinking that would be because of off-gassing, but another factor is here. These were both fermented under pressure. That kind of locks the flavor in more. Like we are getting natural carb beer, so that kind of locks in the CO2. That's what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? Let me hear down below. Are you excited, Tiggy? Most of the head has died off right now, and everyone loves good head. Please go and buy the t-shirt. Or, if you like my videos, buy me a beer, but please do not subscribe. My channel sucks, and it will only encourage me and Tiggy to put out more bad content like this one. Cheers. Let's give it a sniff. Thanks, call it tape it. What should we call it? Pre-hopped before fermentation, post-hop after fermentation. Okay, pre-hop. It's hopping after fermentation. I think I get more aroma on this one, to be totally honest. And I should have done the triangle test with this. I will do my best. Sorry, I know. I should have done a proper triangle test with this one. Because you can really fool yourself. So I don't think it is a massive difference. I have to be really thorough now, because I don't have the triangle test back. to back me. It's not a big difference. Could not have picked up the difference in a triangle test. Every time I do this, I feel like the Brülosphy blog, where they tried massive different things and you don't get any difference. Never take anything here from my videos as like final results. I'm thinking more experimentation, like data. This is for this brew, with this yeast, with this hops. This was this one time. Yes, it's probably your butt. It's probably just your butt that smells tiggy. And what if now that I can't sense a difference? Meaning I can just slam my hops in at the first day. I don't need to open them back up. Yeah. Okay. Post hop. This was dry hop with Citra, by the way. I think there is a difference, but it's not a major difference. I really thought that this would be a massive difference. I want to say that the pre-hopped beer it feels like lighter in body. They have the same numbers, but I think I'm getting like a little bit more sweetness here. Sometimes you can get sweetness from hops, but we can also get sweetness from oxidation. And I did open this up, the vessel after fermentation. I did purge it. I did not purge the hops or anything fancy like that. I opened my keg, poured in the hops, and then I thoroughly purged it. And I don't think, as this beer was carved, because it's fermented under pressure, should have a lot of off-gassing during me pouring in the hops. But of course it could be with the hops, tiny air bubbles or something. I think also the carbonation level is the same, so I don't get a massive difference there, because I did have quite different carbonation levels in an earlier experiment where I tried 2 hop fermented lagers. Today we're not having that, but this seems a little bit like more sweet, not in a bad way, but I can't find there's a massive difference in hops, really. Like one of them is more hop forward than anything. And if you're like nitpicking, you might find some sort of difference with it. But if you were just having a beer, both of these are good beers, so we don't have a massive difference.
Hi kids! You know what I think? I think the doctor forgot about, yes, bitterness. Because the doctor is talking about the pre-hopped beer not being as sweet as the post-hop beer. And there were a lot of longer contact time with the pre-hopped beer, and there were a lot of hops going into such a small batch of beer. And even though 25C to 30C or 77 to 86 Fahrenheit is not really hot, but you will still extract bitterness from those hops. And you know what? Sweetness and bitterness, it's a balancing game. Woohoo! Balancing game. So the only thing we can do right now is dancing. Woohoo! Dancing. Woohoo! Dancing.
The reason why I don't recommend dry hopping after fermentation is because I want to have a little drive from my fermentation. But of course, if you are fermenting under pressure, you will have off-gassing. And I have a video about dry hopping under pressure. It's a really long one. I need to redo that and cut a shorter one, but you have that full there with the grained glass video where I did a massive mistake. And another reason is what hops can do to the sugars in your beer when you're adding them. And I go into that quite in depth in the acetyl video. So here you have it. Like it or not, leave a comment. Cheers, DrHans out. Hope to see you in the next one. Så kan det gå, Tiggy.